Yeah, so, first question is something we talked about before, which is, about how, and I talked to your coach about this, and he gave me a good answer about it, but last year there were some games, some close games, you guys got out to an early lead. Unfortunately, you couldn't close those. What are you guys changing this year that's going to let you finish those games?
I think it's just important to when we're going into halftime, not to get like a big head, and just make sure we go out there and finish it out without just messing up.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'd say we just need that grit, stay focused the whole time. I've always been really nervous beforehand and then figured it out the first half, then kind of lost it the second half. So I'd just say me and everyone just needs to stay focused through the whole thing.
Yep. I'd say, like what Coach says, once we are able to step on their throats, then we got to twist. We got to keep pushing through. We can't, stop just because we're up. They can come back from that.
Yeah, and Coach, something this summer you mentioned is just getting better day by day. You can win the day. With these guys in this season with a lot of turnover, how important has it been for them to not get too distracted by the big picture and focus on that day to day, whether that's conditioning, whether that's scrimmages? What have you seen from those guys and staying committed to that?
Well, they definitely have been working hard this summer. We've been preaching the small things. It's the details. You can get better or better, right? Choice is yours. It's just one play at a time, whether it's a good play or a bad play. If it's a good play, well, all right, that's done with. Next play. Same with the bad plays. And realize that there are peaks and valleys, and you just have to have that mental toughness to push through.
Yeah, and for you guys, something I struggle. I didn't ask it very well to your coach in the preseason, but there's really a storied history when it comes to Fisher Catholic. I talk to all these coaches that have been involved with the Fisher Catholic program and players. So what's it like to go out on the field and represent such a storied program, and what does it does it give you an extra boost knowing that there are giants that come before you and you're making the next chapter of history?
I like to wear my Fisher Catholic shirt outside of school. I just wear it around, and all these people from past times come up to me and ask me my position. They want to talk to me about how the team's doing. And it's really like a community. Everybody everybody's friendly. They always just want to know how we're doing this year. And it makes me kind of feel like I'm fighting for them when I'm going out there and playing. Instead of just for me. And my team.
I'd say, it's, small world, everyone knows Fisher, and I'd say it does add an edge for you, to just know I'm Fisher Catholic,
I mean, I'd say I got to play to the standard. We got a standard we got to meet, and I got to get there, and I got to be better than that standard. That's how I think about it.
Yeah, and looking at what the task that's ahead of you this year, Caleb, you're losing only one guy in the offensive line, and that was your center, correct?
Yep.
So you already have that chemistry with those three other guys, but with I don't know who's going to be taking over for you guys at center, but is it somebody that you're familiar with? And even if so, what are you doing to really fill that final hole, and what are you preaching to keep you guys on the same page this year?
Well, he's been playing. Our new guy's been playing for 2 years. He's still trying to figure things out, but he's really picking it up quick. I'd say by Friday night, I'd say he'll be pretty decent, and he'll be able to show up for us. As for helping him through film, I have some one-on-one conversations with him, tell him, hey, this is what you need to be doing. This is how you can get a little bit better. We had some issues with his snaps beforehand, and so now he's snapping before practice just to get that little bit of extra practice in.
Yeah, and Jacob, with that new guy under center, I know you and James are going to be working out, on some of those snaps, but, what's your confidence level with him, and what's your confidence level going in with such a, seasoned offensive line?
I love my line. I know they're gonna block for me. I've never really had a problem with them. Last year, I went in when Grant got injured, and I like first game struggled, but that was more of a me problem. And then the next few games, I don't even remember ever getting touched. And it was just amazing to see like the guys I have around me. And then we got our new guy. I love him. He's going to be great, I think. And as long as he meshes with the rest of our line, I think we'll do well.
Do you have something to say, Coach?
Oh, no. About that particular question?
No, if you had anything to add in particular, I just saw you bring it up.
No, just that the trenches. I mean, every coach will tell you it's the trenches where the game is won or lost, and we're fortunate to have a good crew back, and we still have 4 juniors on the line this year, so they'll be back as well. Caden will be obviously the lone senior, but we've got high expectations for our line on both sides.
Yeah, and I guess moving, to the aspect of the game that's going to be pretty impacted by that line. I mean, obviously in all phases, but you've got 2 new runners this year, or not new, but that'll be stepping into bigger roles, and that's Leo and Ethan. What have you seen from them so far this summer, and how do you expect them to factor into the run game with Jacob?
We have our cupboard is definitely not bare. We actually have. I mean, we've got 4 or 5 kids that can take it and run. I mean, there's Leo Hampshire, there's Ethan O'Reilly, like you just mentioned, Sam Tenza, Landon Huffer. We'll get some handoffs to Joey Ellis. Obviously, Jacob running the quarterback. So it's, defenses should have a problem trying to key on one person.
Do you expect to, rotate those guys to keep them fresh and
Yes.
just wear down?
Yep, keep them fresh, and they learn all 3 running back positions, so they're interchangeable.
Gotcha. So turning it back to you, Luke, you've got 2 quarterbacks that you're going to be working with this year, but you've got, like you mentioned before, more all-purpose receiver room this year, like a lot of different guys that are going to be working in different ways. So with that in mind, what are you guys doing? Are you expecting to get passes from both guys? And in either case, are you? What is this group looking to emphasize in order to be successful?
Yeah, I've already been working with both the guys. I love both of them. I mean, he's been my best friend since like 7th grade. I know everything about his quarterback play. And James, we hit the ground running. I got a lot of play time with him too. But yeah, I think it's really key to be like friends with your QB. Know them like through everything. And yeah, I think that'll be key to our success because all of our guys, we love our QBs, and we just want them to go out there and get us a win.
Yeah, and this is more a question for everybody at the table, but getting to the playoffs, getting that winning season, that's obviously the overarching story with this year's team. And this is a group that really started to find their stride towards the end of last season. Picked up those 2 big wins down the stretch, almost knock off Grove City Christian at the end. What were you guys discovering down the stretch there, and how do you think it could feed into breaking through this year?
I'd say consistency. We kind of clicked on offense finally. I'd say our defense was always a big point, but I think we all just meshed together as a team. Granted, I got to see what Grant was doing since I was behind him towards the end and got to see how he really created his game, So I think we just really meshed together at the end.
Yeah, I think chemistry was a big part of those last 3 games. We really gave Grove City a run for the money just because we know, we were all like, we all knew each other, and we're all like friends with each other. So made it a lot easier to go out there and fight for your teammates.
I think we finally realized how good we could be. I think at the beginning, there was a little bit of doubt that, last year we weren't so good. Year before that, we were not very good. And there was just a lot of doubt in the air. But then towards the end, we really started to realize that we can do this. And we're a lot better than we're giving ourselves credit for.
Confidence, big time. You play confident. You play with confidence. Good things happen. And they played very confident.
Get to keep this time. Nice to talk to you again. This one's actually going to be up there.